There is still no word on a cure for the virus. Government officials report the virus is not airborne.
Please enter your password. Accessing.
Man, Burger put me on this wild goose chase to find the... Wait, give me a second. I'll call you back in a bit.
Microdrive activated. Scanning. Launch sequence activated. Stabilizing.
The Zhiyun Crane 2S easily pushed through all the tasks I put it through, and I can confidently say it will be in my camera bag for a long time.
Shutting down.
So Pergear recently decided to send out the... Give me a second, it's down here somewhere. The Crane 2S, and after a couple of days of using this, I decided for today's video I want to talk a bit about this. So yeah, let's get into it. Let me just put this down. So first, let's talk about what's in the box. So the first thing in the box is the gimbal case. The second is the gimbal itself. The third is the battery charger, and the fourth is the battery. The fifth is the quick release plates and all the plates itself. The sixth is the lens support holder, and the next one is the instructions and tons of cables and some Allen wrenches. So those are the ones that are in the box, and I'm just gonna roll a quick unboxing segment, a ASMR one like I did last time. So yeah, enjoy. So now let's talk about the key features. So the first one is it has upgraded algorithm for stabilization, which gives you way more smoother footage than the original Crane 2 and like the Weeble S, but like it's similar to the Crane 3S, which is the bigger brother. The second is on-site efficiency matters, so everything is more quicker to set up and balance. So this is a really good feature if you're a running gun like me or other people who just need to set up faster to get the shot. So the third one is precise follow focus. They say that the fall focus has gotten way better and the focus wheel is better, and the design to me looks much better. So the fifth key feature is it has a 0.96 OLED display now, which gives you a boost of productivity, and it's a bigger screen than the original Crane 2. So that's a really good feature. So the sixth key feature is it has the new upgraded axis locking mechanism 2.0, which is really good if you're balancing and you have to lock the axes. So this is a really good key feature if you're a running gun. It's really good because you could store it in your backpack without it dangling around or anything. So this is a really good key feature. So the seventh key feature is it has a really good payload. It maximized it. It could fit like 1DX Mark 2s or 3s Blackmagic 6K, which is really good for this particular gimbal. It's like the same size as a Ronin S, and it could hold a Blackmagic 6K or 4K with the Sigma 18 to 35, which is a really heavy setup and a pretty long one. So that's a really good feature. So the eighth key feature it has is stronger motors, and it's way better for like the heavier cameras like the 1DX Blackmagic, and this gives it way more stability. There's a ton more, but I don't want to really dive into it since it's a short video. So now let's talk about the modes and design. So there are 6 modes now. The first one is pan follow, the second one is follow, the third one is locking, and the fourth one is full range POV. The fifth one is vortex, and the sixth is go mode. So the second one is that it has panorama, time lapse, motion lapse, and long exposure, and this is really good if you're taking time lapses or anything. So that's a really good key feature. So the third is that it has a black and gold design, and this color scheme is like one of my favorites, and this gimbal just looks so good with the black and gold design. I personally love it. Also has a carbon fiber grip like I said before, and the fall focus is way better. So the fourth is it has really good for quick setups. It has quick release plates now, and you can switch between the gimbal and the Manfrotto type release, but I personally don't really like use that, and I just put one of my favorite accessories is the Condor Blue quick release plate. So the final one is it has vertical shooting. Yes, vertical shooting. And although like I think the Moza Aircross 2 had this, now the Zion Crane 2S has this, and this is really good for like Instagram videos, which I'll use, and vertical videos just in general for social media and all that stuff. So now let's talk about the things I like about this gimbal and don't like about this gimbal. So the first one is it's a bit harder to balance, but for this gimbal it's really good for balancing. It's a really quick setup and all that stuff, but this gimbal is pretty easy to set up, and with the locking mechanisms it just outperforms all gimbals. So the second one is it is very, very smooth, and it just really outperforms every other gimbal like the Ronin S or the Ronin SC, all this stuff. It's really smooth. It doesn't give that up and down movement or side to side. It's just really smooth in general. So the third one is it's basically a tank. It could carry heavy ass cameras, and that's a really good feature that like Ronin S can't even do. So there are a ton of more good stuff about this gimbal, but I don't want to dive into it because I don't want to talk here for like several hours. I could, but like it's gonna bore you guys, and yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about the cons of this gimbal. I didn't have much to say about this, but here are my cons that are kind of cons, but I don't know. So the first one is it's a bit heavier than I thought, but it's not like as heavy as like a Crane 3S, but it's pretty heavy. I thought it was gonna be something like a Weeble S, but a bit more heavier. And the second one is it's a bit bigger than I thought, but it still fits in my camera backpack perfectly with the tripod and without. So that's a really good feature I like about this, but it's kind of a con, but yeah. The third is the motor. This is the biggest problem everyone's been talking about, but gladly you could fix it by screwing out some screws and just replacing the motors, and you could see the screen, but I just leave it there because I have a flip out screen and I can just see more easily than you using Sony. So now I'm gonna show you test footage of me walking with the gimbal, and yeah, I'll show you every mode the gimbal has and some time lapses. Let's get into it. So those were the gimbal modes, and let me know if you were impressed about these gimbal modes or not. So now I'm going to talk about my overview and what I really recommend it to you guys. So here's my honest opinions. First, it's so smooth, like it's really smooth. I can't keep saying how smooth it is. Like when you run, it's super smooth, and when you walk, it's smooth. And you don't have to do ninja walk or anything, which a lot of gimbal people do, but you really don't have to do this because this gimbal just like removes all the step up and down stuff. I just think that this gimbal is the perfect gimbal in 2020. Like there hasn't been any gimbals that been out that are better than the Zhiyun Crane 2S right now. Yo, what is good everybody? So today is October 15th. It's a Thursday, and yesterday midnight DJI just released their new gimbal, and it's the Ronin S, but like an upgraded version. And I said that the Zhiyun gimbal, the Zhiyun Crane 2S, is the best gimbal out in 2020, but I can say that the Zhiyun Crane 2S is the top 3 gimbal because I don't want the DJI fanboys hating on me. So I'm just gonna say the Zhiyun Crane 2S is part of the top 3 categories of the newly released gimbals in 2020. And yeah, back to the video. This gimbal is the perfect size for every filmmaker and videographer because it's in the really big tank side of the Crane 3S and the small Weebill S. So this is the perfect size for every videographer and filmmaker. So that's like my overview, and yes, I would totally recommend this product to you guys. If you want one, you could pick one up in the link in the description. So that's about it for this video. I hope you learned something new and got a clear understanding about the Zhiyun Crane 2S. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, a comment, a subscribe, or even share the video. That would mean a lot. And yeah, keep creating, and I will